Hi, and welcome to the Language Lie.
A podcast about idioms.
I'm Ingrid.
I'm Casey. How you doing, Ingrid?
I'm pretty good. We're recording in the middle of the day. It's very strange, but it's daylight savings time. So basically, you have to do everything in the
It's
middle of the
nighttime.
day. It's or at 3 p.m. it will be nighttime.
Yeah,
How are you?
cool. I'm all right.
I'm having a little bit of anticipation about this because we were messaging earlier. It was taking you a really long time to research.
Yeah, this is like 3 hours in.
Okay. So I've been informed by you that this is a doozy. So I guess we should go
It's
ahead and get
it's
started.
it's not really too bad, but finding information on it was more challenging than I was expecting.
We,
Typically, for the
I want
listeners,
to let you know that we really appreciate all of your work.
oh, anytime. Um, Typically, like if an idiom has some data showing up in Google, whatever, there's like some history of it showing up, it's usually pretty easy. And so this one was deceptive in that the first scan that I did had some decent information, and then as I dug in, things started to not start to unravel.
So it was
Not
kind of
just about the idiom, like also
you.
internally. Yes, I was unraveling, and I've since re-raveled.
Good.
uh
I'm glad. I was going to say, so it's much
I'm
like
back.
life, just kind of the more, it seems like sometimes it makes sense. And then you do a little bit more digging and things unravel.
Yeah, everything falls apart.
Mm-hmm.
Very similar. But that's fine. That's part of the research. It's cool to learn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to know what it is?
No.
Okay.
Cool.
Well, tune
Talk
in
to you
next
later.
week,
Bye.
y'all.
I would love to, Casey. I've been super intrigued. Please tell me.
It is lying through one's teeth.
I like it.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
We've all had that toxic ex. We all know what this means.
We have.
Yeah, we
Yes,
all know what this means.
we have.
Lying through one's teeth. Do you know what it means?
You're lying. You're not
Mm,
only lying, you're lying a lot. You're lying like a big liar who lies.
wow, the
Mhm.
big liar that you are. Yes. So Merriam-Webster's defines it as to say something completely untrue. Cambridge Dictionary defines it as to tell someone something that you know is completely false. In general, I think it should be noted that there's usually some sort of insidious intent behind this.
Ah.
This isn't a white lie. Um, you know, Casey, your hair looks great today. You don't look disheveled at all. That sort of thing. It's not that. Um, a hog on ice. I have a couple definitions, so everybody hang tight. Okay, calm down. A hog on ice describes it to accuse a person of lying in his teeth is the strongest of accusations, implying that the person is such a double-dyed liar as to be unfamiliar
Dang.
with truth. Right?
Dang.
Mic drop.
Yeah. Unfamiliar with truth.
Yeah.
Know some of those people too.
Mm-hmm. American Heritage Dictionary of Idioms. I used the two books of idioms that I have for this,
Good,
just to
good
let you
work.
know. Says that the expression presumably alludes to a particular facial grimace one assumes when lying. That said,
Hmm.
from hang on a second, from pop lollies and belly bones, as well as tender feet and lady fingers, a celebration of lost words and a compendium of body language.
Okay, I want you to take back anything you've ever said about the weird things that I reference.
This is
Pop,
a published book by
pop lollies and what?
Pop Lollies and Belly Bones. And then there's a separate book that they compiled into one called Tender Feet and Lady Fingers. It is a celebration of lost words and a compendium of body language by Susan K. Poering. I'm assuming Poering.
Okay. You have won
Uh,
me over. I heard it first and I thought this was ridiculous. And now I'm in love with
yes.
it. Okay.
Yes. Anyway, from this long book, um, they mention lying through your teeth or lying through one's teeth. The physical act of lying through one's teeth could possibly imply that the deliverers of a lie has a deceiving smile while delivering the lie.
Okay.
So purposely deceiving someone, trying to come off as genuine, that sort of thing.
When really you're just a lying liar who lies.
Perfect. Yes.
Okay.
Examples. Cambridge Dictionary gave us a couple. He asked me how old I was, and lying through my teeth, I said 29. One time I did this accidentally. I was well into my 30s, and someone asked me, and I said I was 29. And then I said immediately after, I don't know why I just said that. That's not true.
Not true.
I am not 29. Yeah.
I feel like you go through that phase around that time in life where for many years in a row, I was like, I'm 23. And I kept getting older, but my brain still really thought I was 23.
I think there's something to be said about that. Like, I'd say a year or so ago, I felt like I was like 40. Like exactly 40, that's how I felt.
Yes.
I think that's changed lately. I'm feeling about my age right now.
Okay.
29.
About 29.
Another example, he lied through his teeth that he didn't go to the movies, though he was still holding the ticket stub in his hand as he said it. So there's often an element of like,
it's blatantly false.
yes, like incredibly obvious that it's a lie.
Okay.
And I think that kind of, that's not for all uses of this, obviously, but there seems to be an element of that as well. Like there's like very evident proof that you're lying.
Yes. You're holding, I like that reference. You're holding the ticket stub in your hand.
Yeah, exactly. Do you know where this idiom comes from, Ingrid?
Well, I feel like you just gave us one possible one, which is that it's from the look that someone gets on their face when they're telling a lie. So that maybe you'd have to like, I'm baring my teeth.
Wow. It was a very, please
I'm
never
sorry.
make that face at me.
Was that threatening?
It was just uncomfortable.
I'm sorry.
I didn't feel threatened.
Isn't it supposed to be threatening if
want to
someone bares
experience
their
it
teeth?
again. Yeah.
I have
Okay.
absolutely no idea. I feel like your
Oh, wow.
responses are always really creative when I ask you where something might have come from, but lying through your teeth. No, I can't really, without making that facial expression, I can't think of anything else.
Okay, cool. Perfect.
Okay.
That's really good for me. I'd be really upset if you guessed this.
That's the one time that that's
All
happened.
of my work laid to waste. The idiom, as far as I can tell, and based on every source that I've checked, points to a particular play called The Romances of Sir Guy of Warwick. Have you heard of Sir Guy of Warwick?
I haven't.
Perfect. From Wikipedia, the play follows the adventures of legendary English hero Guy of Warwick through his travels in and around Europe and throughout the Holy Land. In addition to Guy, the play also dives into his relationship between he and his wife, Phyllis, and then also includes some more fun stories around his trusty sidekick, Philip Sparrow, who often provides some comic relief throughout.
I love a comic relief character.
It's
so is this
similar...
Guy as in like Guy or like, okay.
Yeah. Which I don't know if you've ever been on the receiving end of like, hey Guy, that sort of thing.
I have not.
Oh, it's I'm pretty chill and docile as a human being, but that makes me want to fight.
Oh, really? Oh,
it's just what or like my dude.
No.
But I kind of want to start calling people Sir Guy.
Sir Guy, okay.
Because it kind of comes off as the same thing, but there's,
hey Sir Guy,
hundreds of years of reference to be made for that. So
great.
This play kind of reminds me, I can't remember the exact example, but there's those sort of plays that make their way through, at least through England at this time, that kind of storylines alternate, but the main characters kind of stay the same.
Hmm.
And the basic principles exist throughout all of these, though some of the storylines kind of vary.
Yes.
That's what it seems like. It was kind of one of those versions of it. Um, the quote is, "Thou liest midward, and therefore have thou Mawgrith." Mawgrith, keyword here. No, not really.
Malgrith is the
Uh,
keyword.
no,
Great.
likely taken from maugre, which Oxford English Dictionary defines as a state of being regarded with ill will. So you've lied to me. You've, ill-willed me.
You've lied to me with ill will.
Yeah.
You've ill-willed me. Can we use it as a verb? I like it.
It doesn't necessarily mention teeth, but the idea of, you are so not in touch with the truth from the core of your being, and therefore have ill-willed me. It's
Okay.
kind of the concept.
Hmm.
There are some varying accounts of when this was published, or first sort of put on. There's some reports around 1300s, a lot more citing some later years between 1500 and 1600. In that same article in Wikipedia, they mentioned Helen Moore, who did an introduction of the 2007 version of the play, where she concludes that it originated no later than 1590s, because there are references within Shakespeare's play King John, which was completed
Naturally.
around 1623, and they're kind of piecing it together through some other context clues that 1590s is maybe when it kind of happened. So I mean, a pretty old idiom. Apparently, lying has been around for a while,
Weirdly.
which I just
Weirdly.
learned. Yeah.
How ridiculous. It's such a crazy thing that lying is this innate thing that people do, like little tiny children will lie. And
What did you just say? Little tiny children will
yes,
lie.
little tiny
Oh,
children
I'm
will
so
lie.
sorry. I did not hear that.
Okay.
Yes, it's true. I don't have any data on that. Maybe that's what I should have done instead. I'm very sorry.
Just listen to children.
No, just like figure out why lying
Why
exists.
people lie. Ooh, that's a spin-off podcast.
If you ever get a chance, the neurobiology of we is a really interesting. It's not really an audiobook. It's not a published book. It is an audiobook, I guess. Um,
Oh,
but I
you're who
found
recommended that to me. It's on my audiobook thing from the library right now. And I was like, who told me to read this?
Yeah, well, I
Now I'm
used this
actually
one.
going to listen to it. Okay.
Yeah, it's really good, and it talks about the connections that we make in our brain and why we do some of the things that we do,
Ooh.
and how it feeds into like our emotional depth and all of the other it deals with attachment styles, the whole thing.
Oh my God, it sounds
Um,
amazing. Why didn't you say all this when you first recommended it to me?
I'm sure I did, and you just weren't listening. But it's
I'm sorry, that's your MO.
anyway. Yes. To continue. There are other versions of this idiom, um, lying through your teeth, being the one that we're kind of covering now. A Hog on Ice mentions lying in one's teeth. OED also has a version of lying in one's teeth that roughly means the same thing.
Hmm.
I'm assuming there's these variations due to just sort of the modernization of that line, because it is, Old English. Um, lie in one lie in one's teeth is also used in a publication in 1812 called The History of New York. I could not find this publication anywhere, but I heard it was referenced in a couple different sources. So in theory, that kind of was around since the 1800s in modern, more modern publications. There's also To Lie in One's Throat, which is taken from Shakespeare's Taming of the Shrew. And so that's not necessarily the idiom in the reference in King John, but another version of that kind of floating around that time frame. There are other versions, like lie like a teeth puller,
Nope.
which comes from a 14th century phrase in French. Apparently, when they would try to extract an infected tooth, they would do razzle or ramble or blah blah, where they would just trick someone and rip their tooth out. Yeah, that's a real word that I just made. It's
Razzle ramble. Okay.
yeah.
My if I may briefly interject, that was
Please.
my son, the first tooth he lost. It was his front tooth. Or no, it wasn't the first tooth because he'd already lost the one beside it. So he had the two front teeth. The second one was like dangling in the middle. But because it was his second tooth he lost, he already knew that it hurts to have a tooth pulled out. So it was just like dangling and he looked like a little hillbilly. And we were visiting my mother and the kids were playing in the pool. And my mom called this little girl who's several years older than him and said, "Hey, I'll give you $5 if you go over and pull that tooth out of his mouth." And so she did. She just walked straight over to him, asked him to open his mouth, and yanked the tooth right out. Poor child. He was like, "What has happened?" So she lied like a tooth puller.
Yeah, that is the and so exactly.
Exactly.
So to lie like a teeth puller. Yeah, so those are kind of the variations. According to Google's Ngram Viewer, it was used a little bit in Shakespeare and some other publications, but really in the 1960s, we see this upward tick, pretty much through the early 2000s. A Hog on Ice was published in 1948, so it was kind of in use in popular culture at the time.
But as we all know, people have just started lying more since the 60s. It was the fault of the people in the 60s. Yes.
Isn't that our era right now?
Yes, we are.
Okay, so I'm going to send you two things.
Okay.
Don't be upset.
I don't. Anytime that we're not recording a podcast, I love it when I get a text message from you. But when we're recording a podcast and I get some text message, there's going to be some sort of danger.
Yeah. All right. So don't do anything just yet.
Okay.
I'm having some technical difficulties right now. I'm going to send you two things. The first being lyrics.
Great.
The second thing is the album art.
Oh my God.
And if you could describe this image that you're seeing.
Oh my God. It's a monster zombie. And first of all, it's very slow. It does have a heart on its tongue. And there's like a very gaping maw of like teeth in a green zombie face. And there's a bunch of writing in the background that just says teeth, 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 teeth lying through teeth. Oh, the heart on the tongue is the most disturbing part of this image.
I think that I don't know how to describe the drool that's coming off of the very prominent teeth, I think is what gets me. Also, the sad, tired eyes. I'm like, oh, that's what my eyes look like right now.
It's not true. I don't think anyone else is ever going to see this. If you want to look it up,
yes,
email us and let us know.
I'll provide the information after you read this. So anyway, with the context of that album art, if you could please read those lyrics in the way that you think that they would be presented on this album.
Got it out, but think what you thought of me. I can't read it the whole thing that way. It's still good company. You know I wanted to pay, but I had no money. They'll say we just got to give it time, but we know every single one of them is lying through their teeth. Yeah, through their teeth, lying through their teeth.
That is the song Lying Through Their Teeth by Crooked Kings. It was released in 2022.
Oh.
It is not like that at all. It's actually a very kind of pleasant song.
Is it like, now I'm imagining it like a singer-songwriter.
No, it's like a 311 type. Like it's just like kind of like has the rock alternative, not really alternative, but like that vibe, but just like light.
I don't know that you just I think you just used 311 and pleasant in very close proximity to each other.
You get the vibe of that.
Yeah, not like a death metal some sort of situation.
Color of this energy. So that is lying through your teeth, one's teeth, lying in one's teeth.
So to sum up, we think that in the initial use of it was in something about the legendary hero guy Whoosey and his friend
Sir Guy
Philip
of Warwick.
Sparrow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that's where it originates.
Between around the 1590s.
Okay. So it's not super sensical.
No.
I feel like something with like Close But No Cigar, or like I just like to reference that one because it's what I knew.
Got it immediately. Yeah, we know, Ingrid, we were all there.
There's like a story to it, and that this one, it's just kind of like this author perhaps just came up with this out of left field.
I mean, I think the idea is that you were so incapable of knowing the truth because in your core you're a liar, that anything spewing out of your mouth
is going to come through your teeth. It's lies coming through I like it.
Yeah. And also the idea of like smiling while delivering a lie.
Okay.
Whether that was the original intent of the authors, I don't know, but I think that's generally like at their core they're a liar.
Yeah.
And incapable of producing truth.
I like it.
Yeah. Do you have an international idiom, or do you want me to give you one?
I would love for you to give me one. I have one that is.
We'll do it.
Well, I'm gonna have to look for it.
Okay, well, I can give you one. Here, do you want me to text you one?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Okay, cool. Here you go. Good luck.
That's why I needed to find one. Doce maka na vrontaka.
Cool. So that is Croatian.
Oh no, yeah, I was not going for a Croatian accent at all.
Do it. You want to do the Croatian version of it? Okay. The literal translation is the pussycat will come to the tiny door. And what that means is what goes around comes around.
The pussycat will come to the tiny door.
Mm-hmm. This is from blog.ted.com.
Okay.
48 idioms that can be translated literally.
I love it.
Don't go to that website.
I know. I was just going to say you gave me your secrets, your secret source that you've been holding back. The pussycat will come to the little door.
The tiny door.
Tiny door. I'm going to use that a lot in my daily life.
Like, wow. Okay. You're on a watch list.
I don't think any of us are allowed to say pussycat anymore.
Nope.
You're on a watch list. All right. Well, thanks for doing literally all the work for this episode.
Oh my God, my pleasure.
And thanks for sending me that really disturbing image. So when I wake up in the middle of the night tonight and think about that, I will text you.
Cool. Crooked Kings. Shout out.
Shout out to the Crooked Kings. All right. Well, if you would like to get a copy of that picture, we can email it to you if you let us know at thelanguagelie@gmail.com. It now lives on my phone. So just upload that puppy right up if you want that. You can also write in with any idioms you'd like us to research so you can help make Casey unravel further.
Cool. You could. Oh,
go ahead.
Sorry. No, you can keep going.
Yeah, go ahead.
You could also slide into our DMs at The Language Lie on Instagram. That's probably the best version. Yes. I think we have a Facebook.
We have a Facebook. We don't look at it a lot.
We don't use it.
All right. Well, we will hopefully see you next week and talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.